Boston. Our main man from WEEI, the Greg Hill Show, Jermaine Wiggins. He's a Super Bowl champ, former Patriot, and we love having Jermaine on the show. And I'm sure Jermaine is loving coming on the West Coast because Boston looks good. And I'm talking about the Celtics, not the Patriots. The Celtics look like a problem, and I know they're salivating to beat up on the Dubs on Saturday. Jermaine, long time no talk, man. How you doing this morning?
What's going on? Yeah, man. We are. I don't know if we're really looking forward to beating up on the Dubs because it's like one team's good and the other one isn't. So it's like, what do you really get out of beating up somebody that can't fight?
Jermaine,
or at least they can't fight this year.
Jermaine, how cold is it in Boston right now?
Actually, it's pretty nice. It's 50 degrees.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm surprised. I was expecting you to be in a beanie and a parka.
No, just a hoodie right now. Hoodie and the sun's out, so it's actually, you got to thank global warming for that one.
Are you guys still hurting? Because that Friday night game where you guys
Game
said
4.
Steph Curry, I remember walking into your guys' studio, WEEI, the legendary studio. You said, Steph Curry can't win nothing without himself. He got to have Durant. He got to have others. After that game, that Friday night game where he dropped 43, B? How many was it?
Yeah.
It was 43.
How are you feeling about Steph Curry now? I'm just curious. What's the sentiment? Because when I was sitting up with a bunch of, Sean Sullivans from Quincy, they were all telling me this guy reminds him of Larry Bird. I said, no, he's better than Larry Bird. He's a top 8 player of all time.
We don't listen. We tend not to look back in the past. We like to look at what's going on today and where we are. And when you look at a guy like Tatum, who looks like he's probably the MVP. But I ain't going to hate. Steph Curry is an absolute boss. The guy's a beast. I can't hate on Steph Curry. No matter what, you got to get a kid credit. I mean, the kid can play. He's talented. He proved it last year, and I think that was what he needed. He proved and said, "Listen, I don't need Kevin Durant. I can carry a team by myself, and I can put them on my shoulders." The only problem is for whatever reason, he's not able to do that this year. So. I think it's more about consistency, but I can't hate on Curry. I know what, though. I know that boy Tatum is a bad boy.
Hey.
The Celtics are in a great position with somebody like him.
Well, Tatum and Brown look like Pippen and Jordan right now.
Oh,
I mean, they are. I'm not even going to lie to you, Jermaine. I can't even throw shade at them this season. Last night, you guys were up by 40 against the Phoenix Suns. And I'm like, damn, they get a couple days off now. They're going to play the Warriors, who may not have Andrew Wiggins, who was locking up Tatum in the finals. Tatum has grown up. What has been the biggest difference? And I want to get to Jaylen Brown because I know you were adamant about possibly trading Jaylen Brown.
That's right.
Jaylen Brown is balling, averaging nearly 27 and 7. But let's start with Tatum first, Jermaine. What has been the difference this season for him coming back off that? The last 3 games in the finals, it was a subpar performance for Jason Tatum. What's been the difference so far this season?
Well, I think just with his game on the court is that he's being more aggressive. He's using his size and his length, and he's getting to the paint. He's getting to the rim. I would say that would be the biggest thing that I'm seeing with Jason Tatum, that, he's not settling on just being a three-point shooter or the mid-range jumper that you see him, at times make. He's kind of now becoming more of a complete player, but he's also getting to the rim and utilizing his size and his ability, where when you think of a guy who's 6'10", who could do some of the things that he could do, and he didn't really do that last year a lot. He's bigger, he's stronger. So I think that's one of the things that he's doing when you see him. And he's getting more people involved as far as, being more of a facilitator. I think that's the biggest thing that you see with him on the court.
Now, take me back to the Ime Udoka thing, because I remember watching him on the sidelines in the finals, and I was like, damn, he's got a presence about him. And they turned it on in the second half last year. So, what is the sentiment in Boston? I mean, clearly you haven't skipped a beat in terms of coaching and the players performing, but the Ime Udoka story was wild to us here on the West Coast.
Yeah, in the beginning it was like, really? You're going to suspend the guy for a year for, all that, basically the stuff that we heard, all right, so he had an affair with somebody. I mean, you feel like, all right, is he right for doing that? No, but suspend the guy for a year and everything he's been able to do and accomplish as a coach and, get you 2 games away from winning a championship. I think there was a lot of they kind of went overboard on the punishment. And then, with the Joe Mazzulla and, him coming in, you kind of don't know what to expect because Ime, I think a big part of why they're playing the way that they're playing is because of Ime.
Mm-hmm.
And the biggest thing is, and you guys know on the West Coast, especially with Golden State, the coach is really more of a, I don't want to say like a babysitter, but it's more of like, get guys to buy into what their roles are. And I think Ime did a really good job with guys buying in. And I think that's why you see some of the performances from them this year, is because they bought into the roles last year, and now they're just building off of that. And Joe Mazzulla is obviously doing a good job continuing to get them to understand what their roles are. Hey, it's Tatum's team, but Jaylen Brown, we need you to understand that, but still be a big dog for us. Marcus Smart, you're a vocal leader, but you shouldn't be going out there trying to, score like Tatum and Brown. So I think that's what Ime brought to this team. And so now we've kind of like moved on from Ime because everybody around here looks at it like, all right, he's not coming back, and it's going to be Joe Mazzulla. But they basically have taken what he's taught, and they're living it.
No doubt. Jermaine Wiggins, WEEI, former member of the New England Patriots, Super Bowl winner, also a big-time tight end who dominated the Tuck Rule game.
Thank you.
Dominated the Tuck Rule game.
Most catches in that game, correct?
Yeah, sorry, Raider fan.
12,
we got a Raider fan on 13? Our board right now. Yeah, he was balling in the snow. Yeah. You know the stats, Jermaine.
Listen, if I don't get them 10 catches, maybe you might never know who Tom Brady is. He might have been a career backup. That's my little claim to fame.
Jermaine, we're talking Celtics here. They're going to come to the West Coast on Saturday. The Celtics have won 17 of the last 19. They're on a roll right now. They're the best team in the league, no doubt about it. And I think a big part of that is Jaylen Brown.
Yeah.
And I know there was a lot of talks in the offseason, Jermaine, about possibly moving him because we didn't know if Brown and Tatum could play together. But damn, they look like the new age Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan. Jaylen Brown is taking his game to another level.
Yeah, and you know what? I'll be the first to tell you, and I keep it a buck. I was like, Jaylen Brown got to go. But he's playing well. And the thing is, like you said, the new age Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan, right? But one guy got to be Michael and the other guy got to be Scottie. And I think that's what he has done a great job of realizing, like, even though it's Tatum's team, and this is what I like to say, even though it's that way, I still am a big part of the success that this team will have. The same with Michael Jordan. I know that right now they're going through some things, Pippen and Jordan. I guess the real colors are starting to show as they get older, especially with Scottie's ex-wife, Michael's kid.
Yeah.
But the point is in the moment, you got to be able. One's got to say, okay, I'm Michael Jordan, and the other's got to be willing to be like, I can play the Scottie Pippen role. And Golden State, I always bring this up all the time when we're talking about it. The reason why Golden State was successful is because Klay Thompson was willing to defer and say, all right, this is Steph's team, even though I'm, an all-NBA type of caliber player. And I think that's what Jaylen Brown is kind of doing and go, I know it's Tatum's team, but he's not going to be able to do what it is he can do without me. And so once he kind of bought into that role, I think that's why you see them being so successful and playing so well.
All right. I want to ask you about Draymond Green because you guys cussed him out so bad in those finals, but that's neither here nor there because he's got his own issues going on right now.
I got to be careful what I say about him because, I don't want him to sucker punch me.
I knew that was coming. That was coming. Xander Bogaerts goes to the San Diego Padres. Why didn't the Sox keep him, number one? Because you guys are screwing over the NL West. You're killing me, letting Betts go, and now this guy go. And what kind of player are they getting?
Well, it's simple. You're not going to pick. I think the Red Sox, they're kind of in the position right now. They're not going to give a guy 11 years. Like Xander Bogaerts, he's got 11 years at $280 million, right? So let's say he does get 5 good years of that. Now you're on the hook for 6 more years paying a guy. It's a little bit difficult because Xander's not a power guy, so people are like, oh, there's the DH. Well, you can't really move him to the DH because I know the National League is going to be going with DH anyways, right?
They are.
You can't really move him to DH because he's not really a home run hitter. And now, how many out of the 11 years, how well is he going to, or how productive are you going to be able to get get him to be.
Yeah.
And I think that's the biggest thing with the Red Sox is they weren't willing to do that. And maybe they felt like, I think you got to be careful, right? You start to see certain players. Same with Mookie Betts.
Yeah.
He got a 12-year deal. It's like, all right, do we want to be on the hook for this guy? But there's a lot of people around here that are a little bit upset because of the way the Red Sox handled it. And they were like, oh, we want to sign this guy forever. But in sports, you know how it is. Players lie and owners lie and GMs lie all the time about how they want guys to retire, on the teams forever. We see it all the time. But they're getting a good player out there in San Diego. And then with that lineup, you add them, you just look at what they have in San Diego.
Yeah,
they tough.
They're tough. They're loaded. Machado, Tatis Jr., Soto. Xander Bogaerts, to your point, Jermaine, he's going to be 31 years old next October. So, man, 11 years? That'll take him to his 40s. That is insane. But good for him for cashing out. And, Jermaine, good for you for coming back on the show, man. We'll do it again soon. Yeah, hopefully the Warriors can shock the world Saturday night prime time. But I'm not going to lie. I'm a little concerned about Saturday. The Celtics look good, man. Look good.
You still got Steph Curry in the championship from last year. You can like me as a Pats fan, I still hold on to the 6 championships.
That's all you're ever going to get.
Yeah, well, we're still holding on to the 5th championship back in '95 with the 49ers.
30 years ago.
Yeah. And now we got Brock
Purdy there next year, so don't worry about it.
Hell yeah.
All right, Jermaine, man, have a good one. Good catching up.
All right, later.
All right, man. Jermaine Wiggins, he's a good sport. WEI out in Boston.